Ben Ish Hai, the Tikkun Zohar says that if a person does teshuvah, then his mistake will go to the lower worlds and he'll receive his punishment. But if he does not do teshuvah, then his mistake, his flaw, will go to the upper worlds and call him to judgment. So that's why, and the Zohar says that's why the sages said in Masechet Brachot, Makom shamru la'arich, asur lekatzer. Makom shamru lekatzer, asur la'arich. In the place where they said to prolong, to make it long, you're not allowed to cut it short. And where they said to cut it short, you're not allowed to make it long. What does this mean? It means when a person does avera, guno, forces of evil are created by his mistake, his misdeed. And these forces are the forces that bring suffering and punishment upon a person. As that the pasuk says in Yirmiyah, your evil shall afflict you. But if you do teshuvah, the forces of evil come to this world, and they only hurt you here. And by suffering in this world, you're spared the judgment in Gehenna. And therefore, you don't get the eternal, and you don't get the spiritual suffering. You only get just physical. It's a much better end of the deal. But if you don't do teshuvah, the forces of evil created from your mistake, they become much more dangerous. Rather than striking you in this world temporarily, they summon him to judgment and they ask that you should be punished in the eternal world, which is flawed by transgressing the words of the Torah. When there's an argument for prolonging, the sinner's punishment because you flawed the upper worlds, the spiritual worlds, you damaged with your sin. So the defending angel is not permitted to cut it short by making you suffer in this world because you didn't do teshuvah. So the defending angel says, okay, you know what? He did a mistake. Let him suffer kapara avonot in this world. But he's not able to do that when you didn't do teshuvah. That's why in the Kriyat Shema in the Mitah, in the evening before you go to sleep, you have to do teshuvah with it. You have to do vidui. It's very important. But if you don't, so then it stays in Shamayim. It cannot come down. So therefore, that's going to be where he's going to have to add his accounting in Olam Haba. So first, let's be careful to do teshuvah, and it's a zechut to have suffering in this world and not have to deal with it in Olam Haba. Okay, Pirkei Avot says, Ezu Ashir Sameach V'Chalko. Who is happy? The one who is wealthy, the one happy with his lot. As it says, when you eat the labor of your hands, you will be happy and all will be well with you. You'll be happy in this world and all will be well with you in Olam Haba. So now, says the Ben Ish Hai, if you earn your bread with difficulty, be happy in this world. Because your troubles show that you're not using up your zechut from Olam Haba. And if it will be good for you in the world to come, that's because your reward was waiting for you. But sometimes a person, he doesn't deserve, and he has very good. Right? A person says, look at him, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't have any zechut, and he has so much good. It's because he might be eating his reward from Olam Haba in this world. Thus, Elazar Yaakov says, as long as a person has an easy life, he doesn't have any atonement for his sins. Though through suffering, you become loved by Hashem. Hashem only hurts those who he loves. Those he doesn't love, he just lets them be, let them enjoy, let them have, because later, there's not going to be none left. So therefore, if you see that Hashem is going to go through suffering, it means he loves you. Who do you fight with? You fight with strangers? You don't fight with strangers. You fight with your family members the most. Right? The people you love the most. It says in Yeshaya, Hanavi, one who repents, it says, I have seen his ways and I shall heal him. What does this mean? He says there's a rule that a witness in a particular case cannot be the judge in that case. Right? If you're Ed, and Ed Nase Dayan, you can't become a judge also for the case if you're a witness. So therefore the pasuk says, I have seen his ways. What does it mean I have seen? Hashem says, I saw. I'm the witness. I saw your averot that you did. And therefore Hashem says, and I shall heal him. But I can't judge you because I'm the witness. If I'm the witness, I can't be Dayan. I'm the Ed. But then there's another rule that if a person borrows an item and it becomes damaged while the owner was there, right? I borrow a cow and we're plowing together in the field with the cow. And the cow dies, the cow gets hurt. So since the Torah says the owner was with you, so therefore you're not liable for this that it got damaged. That the owner was with you was the owner's responsibility. You don't pay for the damage. Now we have to know that we're all borrowers. Borrowers from who? Borrowers from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Neshama. We borrowed the Neshama from Hashem. So now we damaged it, right? we damaged the soul, so you have to pay. We have to pay for the damage, with the suffering. Unless the owner is with you, unless you're with Hashem in your life, so then you don't have to pay for the damage. You can do the shuvah, and you don't pay for the damage. But if the owner is not with you, then you have to pay. Because that's halacha. You borrow something, you damaged it, you have to pay back. You have to pay back. Okay, good. Now, the Ben Ish Chai quotes the Gemara in Masechet Ta'anit. The Gemara says that Nacham Ish Gamzu, he was blind both eyes, he lost both hands and both legs, and his body was covered with boils. And he lived in a shabby house. So the Gemara says his students wanted to remove his bed and then remove his belongings, right? He said he's going to pass away. So he said, my sons, remove the possessions and then remove my bed. Because I'm not sure that as long as I'm in the house, maybe the house will fall down once you take me out. So therefore I won't be able to get my possessions. Take my possessions out first and then take me out. They removed all his possessions, then they removed his bed, and the house fell down. So they said, Rabbi, if you're so righteous, so why did all this stuff bad happen to you? You lost your arms, you lost your legs, you lost your eyes, you lost your house. He said, my sons, I brought it upon myself. He says, what does it mean? Meaning, I asked for this kapara because I wanted it. So there's a story, right? There was a poor man who came to him, and he said to him, can you give me some food? So he had all these camels and donkeys laden with food. But it was a lot of stuff. Everything was on top of each other. It was a mess. So he said, wait 5 minutes, let me unload, and then I'll give it to you. He made the guy wait 5 minutes. This guy was traveling in the desert for hours. He was parched. He was an old man. He died. He waited 5 minutes, he died. So therefore he felt so bad that he killed him, basically. So he asked Hashem to give him kapara. So that's why he lost his arms, lost his legs, he lost his eyes, he made him boils on his body. So they said to him, oh, Elanu, that we see Rabbi like this. He said to them, no, oi, to me, if you didn't see me like this, it's good that you saw me like this. Says the Gemara, why they call him Nacham Ish Gamzu? Because he said everything Gamzu L'Tova. So what do you see from here? Says the Ben Ish Chai, why did they say oi? Why didn't they say oi right away? Why did they say oi at the end? He says, what gematria oi? Gematria oi. The same gematria. Right, oi is aleph is 1, vav is 6, and yud is 10, 17. What's gematria tov? 17. He says oi is good. Oi is tov. See gematria 17. He says for the people who know suffering is kapara. So he says oi is good. Oi is good. But they didn't understand. They saw him oi. They thought it was bad. So they said, oh Rabbi, oi, gamzu tova, oi is good. But for us, it's oi, it's bad. He said to them, no, if I didn't get this, it would mamash be a oi. It would be ouch. But now that I accepted it, it's tov. So every oi could be a oi or it could be a tov. Depends on how you look at it. So why waste the situation and say oi and say be sad? You have to realize the oi is tov. If a person goes suffering, it is for kol tova. Pasuk in Yov says that Elihu was in the pasuk was angry with Eov. Why? Because he justified his soul rather than God, and at his 3 friends because they blamed Eov. So we know that Eov suffered tremendously. He lost his family, he lost his parnasah, he almost lost his life. So why did he suffer so much? So the Sheikh Akadosh explains that Eov was righteous. Right? The Gemara Masechet Bava Batra we learned says that he was if not as righteous as Avraham Avinu. So why did he suffer so much? The Sheikh says because he was Gilgul of Avraham Avinu's father, Terach. For this that he did Avodah Zarah. So therefore Elihu was angry at Eov for justifying his soul, which means he has sinned in a different lifetime. And his 3 friends blamed Eov, who was righteous in his present life. Meaning, Eov said to his friends, why are you telling me I deserve all this suffering? I don't deserve it, I'm righteous. And they were telling him, no, you deserve it. But then we learn from halakha from there, you're not allowed to tell somebody when they're suffering, you deserve this. It's not nice. But really he wasn't. He was righteous, he just was suffering as a gilgul for something before. So a lot of times, you see, Chas v'shalom, people suffering, you don't know why. Even little kids, right? Sometimes suffering cancer. What did the kid do? Why do you have cancer? Why do you have to die so young? Or why do you have to suffer with all this? We don't know which gilgul for who their gilgul. Could be from previous gilgul. So therefore, a person has to always remember everything Hashem does for the best.